There we
Sorry, that's how it works.
I'm Cindy Chen, and this is my channel, Meet My Friends. And we have the big superstar Ruben here. Ruben, right here.
Hey everyone, good to be here. I was born in Hollywood, California. And I lived basically all my life in Los Angeles until I came to Foshan.
Wow, what made you to come to Foshan?
I've always had a passion for traveling. I always loved traveling. Something inside of me says, there's a big world, you got to go see it. And I hit a bunch of different countries, and when I finished university, I decided, what's the most different place I can think of? And it was definitely China.
What was your first impression when you got to China?
Oh, wow. It was so hot. And it was quite smelly in some places. But that didn't surprise me that much because I grew up going back and forth to Mexico. So I know it can get quite smelly in some places. But it was just like, it was different smells. It surprised me. I'm talking about walking down the streets and chodofu just hits you. It's like someone slaps you in the face. And that's very, very different. And it's kind of just, you get used to it after a while.
That's so funny. And talking about chodofu, you were doing this food tour videos and it went viral on internet.
未食得住嘅要整㗎，一層一層搭好佢，
I can't say no to more meat.
將嗰啲豬皮同嗰啲肉包住佢，
I thought this was just decoration. I have to eat it.
滾落去。
I have really good fingers.
芝士，將呢啲肉全部擠晒落去呢度，
Okay, I need some help.
要揚滿佢，公性好高。
This is the dish I've been waiting for. I dip it in some sauce. Quite. I've been very lucky recently. I've been working with Foshan TV, and it's just Big Ruben on tour going all over Foshan, and we made a plan to hit all the different districts. I've been through Santré, which was a lot of fun, and in Gaoming recently, and a lot of Chancheng in between. So I still have Nanhai, and I'm missing one. Shunda? Yeah, Shunda. And basically we'll just be eating all kinds of different things. The fun part is that the crowd, the people can choose what they want me to eat next. Please make sure it's not that gross, okay?
I want to show you a video of Ruben eating one of them.
Problem. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are again. I found these in my kitchen and I decided it's time for dinner. Because they're so, fried or whatever, or so cooked, they just turn to dust in your mouth. Really no flavor, not spicy, not tangy, not anything. A little bit of the barbecue flavor, that's it. Nothing different.
The cockroaches that you...
Oh,
They're not cockroaches. They're
the grasshoppers.
grasshoppers.
Oh, that wasn't even a Foshan TV video. That was just me and a friend.
I know, because it looked like you just shoot it from your camera, and I loved it because you seemed so natural telling this joke you found those in the
my
kitchen.
friend's son had my phone. I go, he said, what do you want? I go, just press play and hold it. He's like, okay. He's there eating too and just watching.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I really like that video. And I just think
and it's a short one, so it's easy.
a lot of people get super nervous speaking in front of cameras, and for a short video like that, it can take them days to practice. Really?
Yes.
You've got a great talent a lot of people can't even imagine.
Thanks.
Yeah, and let's talk about this talent that you have. You said you're from Los Angeles. Have you always developed this passion for acting?
I don't remember being shy as a kid, not that much. I remember my parents always seemed very serious. But when you put my parents in a situation with other adults, with other people, especially friends and family, they would light up and they would be so cool and so funny. And I would sit there and I'm like, who is this guy? That's not my dad. This lady's definitely not my mom. Because the moment everybody leaves, they're like, hey, clean up. And they're serious again. And I just grew up admiring that side of them because I thought it was so cool. They worked the room like they would walk to people and people would talk to them and be happy. And I'm like, that's so cool. Like, that's what I wanted, to just grow up and always enter a room and people are glad I'm there. That's what I always wanted.
I think that's so valuable what you're sharing, when people can be so confident when they're speaking and just light up the room. Let's talk about some of the key points, how to be comfortable speaking, let's say in public or in front of a camera.
Oof, okay. Well, people have a lot of different tips and tricks they'll give you. For example, stand up there and take a deep breath. And what happens is sometimes people take the deep breath and they forget to let it out and they forget to breathe again. So you gotta find your own way. Some people say, picture everybody naked. But I know for me, that would be distracting. I'd be talking and say, oh, hey, how you doing?
Put your clothes on.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody has a different, for me, it's find what makes it comfortable for you. Most of the time when I'm speaking, I don't rehearse, I don't practice, I just let the natural me come out. And that's why people are, you look so comfortable, you look so natural. It's like, yeah, because it's just me.
Yeah. If
I had to learn the lines and rehearse and say something that someone else wrote that maybe I don't believe in, maybe it would look really fake. And yeah, it's kind of find a way to make yourself comfortable. Practice your breathing. Don't look people directly in the eyes, especially like me. I have very silly friends who, if we look each other in the eye, we start laughing. So I look at people like in the forehead sometimes, just so there's not that eye contact that makes you shy. And that works for me. And pick your spots, pick your situations. If you're not a great professional business English speaker, then don't attend a conference where you have to do the speaking. Maybe you find a way to be part of the conference and maybe you warm up the crowd. You talk about, maybe introduce other speakers, and then that way you don't put yourself in an uncomfortable position.
Thanks for sharing. I also want to ask you one question. I think humor is definitely the most important spice in life. Mm-hmm. You've got a great sense of humor, and did you practice or you're just born with it?
I think it's just me. I'm always looking for the fun side of things. I'm always wanting to have fun. My humor, I think that's how I got my wife. Hi, baby. I think it's natural me. It's just me being me, and me, I'm just naturally always thinking fun and stupid things. You can ask my mom. She always said I was always just thinking of stupid things because I just figured, why not?
Since you mentioned about your mom, is it a Latino thing? Because I've got a Latino husband, and he's very silly, outgoing, and very comfortable in his own skin. Do you think that cultural background is adding to your acting career?
Yeah, definitely. It adds a little flavor, a little spice. Maybe a lot of us are naturally funny because we're also naturally full of passion for certain things.
You do, yeah, and very chill, tranquilo.
Yeah, exactly. Ya tú sabes. The idea is that sometimes we can have a temper and we can get angry just like that. And when a Latino person loves someone, they love them 100%. So maybe that's why the funny comes out in us, because it's a way of balancing. You can't be angry all the time. You can't be in love all the time, but you can definitely be funny and balance it all out, I think.
I think also just being genuine when you are having some sort of emotions, just let it out.
Yeah. That's why I love what I do when it comes to let's say acting in these videos. You just act like the normal you. If I'm eating something horrible, I'm gonna say, oh my God, this is horrible. If I'm eating something delicious, which trust me, everything tastes delicious to me, I'm gonna enjoy it and it's gonna come out as funny and natural and comfortable.
What are your passions?
I used to say it was traveling, making friends, trying new things. But now it all kind of revolves around my little girl. She's about to turn 3, and I love her to death. She's the most precious little thing, but she's also the most evil little thing. Mm-hmm. And now all my things, I travel, but with my baby. I want to try new things with my baby, or be there with my baby when she tries something new for the first time. Things like that. I'm always thinking about what can I do with my baby.
Wow. So how does that little monster slash angel's arrival had changed your life plan?
Wow. Well, I used to go out a lot with friends, and we'd have drinks, we'd have dinner, we'd hang out, we'd do stuff. And then I got married, and it didn't change my lifestyle all that much. I kept, going out drinking with friends and having dinner, whatever. But now when my daughter's here, I find myself staying home a little bit more because I want to play, tea party. I want to, take dance videos with her, and because I find it so fun, and she does too. And for me, there's nothing better in the world than just seeing that little face smile at me and say things like "I love you, Daddy." It melts my heart. It really does.
So you organize this group. It's called Foshan Friendos.
Yeah, Foshan Friendlies. Yeah. Oh wow. I love the group. We just hit our 7th anniversary.
Wow.
We're like about 7.5 right now. And the reason that the group is so special to me is because my best friends that I've met over the past 10 years are in that group. My wife is in the group, but I met her because of our first event.
Wow.
Me and my friend Yvonne, a Canadian girl who's no longer here in China, we started this group like 7.5 years ago, and we organized a pool party. And back then, Lingnan Mingju, the Pearl Gym, used to have above ground pools outside. Wow. And they were big, and it was wonderful. And we threw a party, and our very first event, we had like 70 people show up.
Wow.
And everybody brought drinks, and some restaurants gave us free pizza. And it was just pizza and drinks and people. We had so much fun. And then my wife walks in, and I met her, and I talked to her, and I always remember her bikini that she was wearing. And I tell her, I remember you. You were wearing this and this. But do you remember me? And she always says, yes. You were talking to all the pretty girls. And I'm like, sorry. That's how it works.
That's funny.
And that's how we met.
And what was your wife's memories on getting to know you in that occasion? Because you guys actually met through a pool party.
Yeah, she saw how I was. She saw I was talking to everybody.
Was she attracted by your side of that?
She was interested in knowing more about me because everybody was talking to me, and she's like, who is this guy? Like, why does everybody know him? And why is he talking to all these pretty girls? Excuse me. And that's why it was, she started talking to me a little bit. We would WeChat for a few months, and I wasn't really thinking yet. Like, I just thought, oh, she's cute, she's nice. And then we met up for Halloween, and she was painting my face because I was Winnie the Pooh, Winnie Xiaoxiong, yeah. And I had to paint my face yellow, and so she stands in front of me for 30 minutes painting my face, and I'm staring at her, and that's when I realized, ooh, she's really cute. And then we started dating soon after that, Thanksgiving, and that's our first date. And since then, we've been together, 7.5 years. And now we have our little monster at home, and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah. How was your relationship with her? Because I know quite a few Chinese parents are not very comfortable with their daughters marrying foreigners.
Oh, yeah. That was definitely something I had to consider in the beginning. I was kind of nervous the first time she took me home to meet her family, and it was oh my God, it was Chinese New Year's. And then you show up for the big meal, and I show up, and I don't know more than like 7 words in Chinese at the time. Now I know 8, but still, I show up, and they were all so sweet. They were so nice to me. They were excited to try and talk to me, and that made it so much more comfortable. Because if I showed up and one of the uncles was giving me the side eye, I would have been a little embarrassed, a little uncomfortable, and maybe I would have told her, hey, this is not going to work out. But fortunately, they were all very nice, very sweet, and we're still together every year for Chinese New Year, having dinner together. So I enjoy it. And oh my God, her uncle cooks amazing.
So you do like Chinese food?
Yes. Oh, I hope this doesn't get me in trouble. I love Chinese food from all over China. But Guangdong food is like way near the bottom for me. I'm so sorry, please. It's just like I love Sichuan because I love spicy. I love Dongbei because I love the meat. I love all these different provinces. But then there's Guangdong, and it's like way in the bottom. And I know I'm exaggerating. Please don't get mad at me. Don't be mad at Tindy. But sometimes it's vegetable, hot water,
Steamed.
eat it. And I'm like, I need lajiao, I need lemon, I need meat, I need more. And I know everybody's really interested in let's keep it healthy. And I understand that. I can appreciate that. But look at me. I'm not exactly always thinking healthy. I'm thinking delicious. But there is delicious food in Foshan, Guangdong. And I love like DNC. Oh, and my wife says, hey, let's go out and get dim sum. I'm like, yes, because I love it. But if she's like, hey, let's cook at home, I'm like, Then I have second thoughts.
Do you cook?
Yes, I do, but not as often as I'd like. And if I cook, I'm cooking like Mexican food or spicy things. I love making chicken wings, but I don't always have those things at home. So my father-in-law cooks a lot at our house. My wife will cook simple things at our house from time to time when she's really hungry and doesn't want to order Meituan, but she's also tired because she works a lot. So yeah, I miss cooking. And then I feel it's sad because my kitchen is smaller than my toilet, and it makes me angry because I love big kitchens. Yeah, so it's been tough. I do cook from time to time. When we were dating, I invited her to my house and I cooked something amazing for her and she loved it. I think so. I think I found the way. It was through her stomach. Because when I took her home and she met my family, she could not stop eating my mom's food. And I didn't tell her this, but she might have gained a kilo or two, but I didn't say anything because she just loved my mom's food. And it was a great holiday that time.
How sweet. And what advices do you have for foreigners who are thinking about coming to China or starting a business in China?
Oof, that's really rough. Any other time I'd be like, yes, China is a booming economy. Get out here quickly and do it. Now it's like, okay, wait, take a minute, think about it. What are you doing? What do you want to do? Where do you want to do it? And who's helping you? There's so many things that you need to take into account. First of all, China, the economy was always growing and everything was great. Everybody was making money out here. It was beautiful. But then the pandemic hit and the world shut down and people stopped buying things. People stopped making things. And China's a producer. You guys make everything here in China. And what happened is now people aren't so sure about spending money, about investing in other countries, investing their money in a product that may or may not work. And it's scary. It is very scary. I recommend partnerships. And I don't mean go find a partner, buy one on Taobao, but I mean make a partnership with somebody you know well.
Right.
Somebody who you can trust and somebody who really has the same idea in mind for success. And then it'll be a lot easier. It'll still be difficult. It'll still be tough. You might be selling paintings, artwork around the world, but it might be very difficult because people just aren't secure right now. I think as the pandemic fades in our memory and the world starts to build up again and good things happen and all the wars end, then we can get back to making money. And for now, I mean, war. I mean, that only helps the people who are in it because they make money on one side or the other or both, who knows. But for everybody else who's in business, who's in media, who's in just living life, war is not going to help us. And I think it's going to be a rough time for everybody around the world, at least for, I don't know, maybe another year or two, because this war situation isn't helping and everybody still remembers the pandemic, and anybody who has money is holding on to it because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think anything bad's going to happen as far as another pandemic, but people are still scared. And I understand that fear.
Are you going to live in China for another few years, or this is it, your life is here?
For me, living in China it's an adventure, and every day is different. Even if every day is the same, I wake up, go to work, come home, there's something different.
Yeah.
And I find it so exciting. And I would hate to go back home because back home is expensive and back home has its own problems and start all over. I'm happy here. I'm comfortable here. I have great friends. I got my family here. I would hate to take my daughter out of China and not have her grow up and learn about, half her culture.
Yeah.
But I do intend to take her home every year to learn the other half of her culture as much as possible. I want her to grow up and speak English and Spanish, besides already speaking Mandarin and Cantonese. This kid is going to be amazing.
She's going to talk to everyone in the world.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think of what language she can learn next, so she can speak to everybody in the world. And I'm pretty sure I'll just leave that up to her. She'll
Hindu,
figure it
probably.
out.
Or Arabic.
Yeah, Hindu, Arabic. The world is hers. I think she can do whatever she wants.
That looks so exciting. Tell me more about your passion for acting, because you have a degree for this, for media, right?
Yeah. When I went to university, I did mass media, communications. And it's basically you make TV, you make movies, radio, a little bit of internet back then. This is before even social media was big. And I enjoyed it because I would go to class and I would make a TV show. I'd go to class and we'd make a mini movie, and it was just so interesting. It's doing something different. When people tell me like act, and I'm like, I can be a different person, or I can be me, just be comfortable. And for me, that's fun. That's so much fun. And I did it in university, and I loved it so much that I didn't want to leave university. So I added another degree. And I said, okay, now I'm gonna do public relations. So even if I'm not like the actor in the show or the director, I can be the agent making the deals, right? And talking to everybody, making the show happen. And then I finished that degree and I said, I still don't want to grow up. I want to stay in school forever. So I became president of my university. And it was really crazy because then I had to find a new degree to do. And that's when I decided to do my master's in teaching English. So I have a TESOL, Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages. That's my master's degree. And that was a big part of what got me here to China. I knew I always wanted to travel. And I said, oh, maybe I can take some time off and travel somewhere, teach for a year. Here I am 10 years later. I haven't gone anywhere. And I blame my wife and my daughter. But it's okay.
Can you tell me more about public relation? What's that about? I hear it a lot. I just don't know what it is.
Public relations it's funny because it's stuff we already know in the back of our minds, but we don't always use it correctly. For example, let's say a movie star is drinking and then he's driving and the police catch him. He doesn't hurt anybody, but they catch him and he's on the news and you see his picture. Now all of a sudden he's a bad guy. Well, as a public relations agent, I'm whispering in his ear, telling him what to do, what to say, where to go, how to dress. And people are like, okay, what's he gonna do? Well, you shower, you shave, you get a nice haircut, you do a little makeup, then you look good. You get on camera and people say, oh, he's handsome. He's not that bad of a guy. And then he has to say the important stuff. I'm sorry. I'll never do it again. I'm gonna make sure nobody else does this again. I will teach the children. And it's the I'm sorry tour. You go everywhere and say how sorry you are and tell them what you're gonna do to fix it. And then you go out and do nice things. And you go out and you're planting trees, you're cleaning the beach, and people will see and say, he's not a bad guy, he learned his lesson. And you know what that does for you? It makes you even more popular. Because they knew for a moment you were a little bit of a bad boy, but you're also a great guy. And people love that. People love nothing more than to see somebody at the bottom rise to the top. And if they fall, it's interesting and it's exciting, but it's much more valuable when they come back up again. And that's public relations, a little part of it. Yeah.
I've heard about once a TED Talk speaker talking about a very famous figure came to the stage and accidentally swept the bottle of water on the floor, and that video was a lot popular than normally when he's acting perfect.
And this is a very professional, calm, controlled person, right? Yeah. It's like I said, nothing is more comforting to you than to find out your heroes or these special people are human, just like you. So when politicians and celebrities do something wrong, everybody's interested because usually they're so perfect. But But when you see somebody like, I don't know, Taylor Swift walks on stage, I mention her because my daughter likes her music now,
Aw.
slips and falls, everybody's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then they giggle a little bit, some people, but then you say, oh my God, she's a normal person. I'm stupid, I fall all the time. We're the same. And it brings you closer to that person. It's connection. And that's what we all look for in this world, connection. Connect with other people to feel that sense of we're all the same. Sometimes, especially growing up, you're young, you don't feel you're the same as everyone. You feel like everybody's thinking one thing and you're dumb and you're thinking something else. We're all the same, we're all different, still the same.
Ruben, I feel like you are so talented with all the degrees and with all the thoughts and mentality that you have. You should definitely do something related with media and shooting, acting.
Yeah, well, it's funny you mentioned that. I have a couple of friends, partners, and we're considering starting our own company.
Wow.
And it would be sort of like a production company where we would make our own videos, our own commercials, our own social media. And the idea is to do something a little different. There are a ton of these companies in China, but they are all Chinese. Now imagine if we have one that's made by foreigners, ran by foreigners, full of foreigners, it would be something different. And I think as time goes on, the Chinese audience is gonna want something a little different.
Yeah.
I feel like I'll go for an example. In America, you want to sell beer. You get the most beautiful, sexy girl you can with a tiny little bikini, and you will sell a lot of beer. But if you do it in China, you get the mom, the dad, the children, the grandparents, very important. They're having Chinese New Year's dinner, and they are having a great time. And then the father and the grandfather cheers with their beer, and everybody is happy. And eventually, I think Chinese people are gonna wanna see something a little different on TV. And just the same way in America, it changed where it used to be really sexy, then it became really funny. And sometimes really dirty. And it was different and people enjoyed it.
So if you want to do something related with media, you have to involve deeply with the local culture, and you're the perfect guy. You've been here forever.
Yeah, it feels like forever. Yeah, it's been over 10 years now, and which is really funny because I was only planning to be here 1 or 2 years, and I wanted to go to other countries and teach there and then go home. And yeah, that didn't happen. I blame my wife once again. I love you, baby. But yeah, she's the reason I'm here. She kept me here.
Wow, that's really interesting. I feel like we have to do another episode or a weekly episode with Ruben.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yes. A big round of applause for Ruben. I'm so grateful to have you here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. This was a lot of fun.
And guys, if you're watching this, please let me know if there's anything else you would like to ask Ruben. We can definitely continue this conversation with him and let you know about everything here in China. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked our video, please don't hesitate to share with your friends. We'll see you next time. Please subscribe. Bye-bye.